Καλησπέρα σε όλους. Καλησπέρα, καλώς ήρθατε. Θα δώσουμε λίγο χρόνο να πάρουμε τις τελικές.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Στην τέταρτη εκδοχή του Authentic Talks. Είμαι ο Γιώργος Λέτζας, παρουσιαστής και συνοδοιπόρος σας για το απόψινό event.
Welcome everyone. Authentic Talks is the fourth version of a series of talks which takes place a few days before the Authentic Marathon. It is an initiative by Segas, which connects the things that we have in mind, but usually we do not consider. The semantic continuation of the effort to finish a marathon and in connection to the real life, which is the actual marathon that we every day run. So if you are going to run, please applaud.
Εδώ βλέπω ένα μέτριο χειροκρότημα.
And if you're running 42 kilometers, please a larger, warmer applaud. Congratulations to everyone. It is cheaper to run a marathon than to go to a psychologist. My first experience in the classical code of the Athens Marathon was in 2006. At that time, I did not finish the way I wanted, but nevertheless, I will never forget another runner that I met there. Marathon is not only running, it's also the stories of the runners. As I said before, I was not well prepared, so I could not finish. But nevertheless, I was running along with a gentleman, 60 years old, rather overweight for a runner, which is important because they have to carry their own weight for 42 kilometers. And he recognized me. We started talking, and he said that I am running because I have promised myself and my children that I'm going to do two things to be proud of. If we do something that we are proud of, we can represent our country with pride. So the first thing would be the Authentic Marathon to finish, and then to climb the Olympus mountain. After 3 years, he managed to do both these feats, and also he managed to lose 45 kilos. It was Mr. Babis. So I personally thank Mr. Babis because I met him and I found someone with such a vision. Now we're going to start with the Authentic Talks, with authentic stories of people which are connected with the fine sports and fine running. These are people who are models, idols for some sectors. They represent some standards of the marathon and some values of the life's marathon. We have a very important lineup for this year. Before we reach there, we have to say that we have 4 speakers who will have 10 minutes to tell us a story that connects the marathon running with the effort in life. After that, after these 40 minutes, you will have the opportunity to ask questions to the speakers. And then we'll have the Marathon Awards, and I will explain right away how this will go on. So we will going to start the marathon, the Authentic Talks. Mrs. Sofia Tsagorafa.
Ευχαριστούμε πολύ. Να είστε καλά.
Καλησπέρα σε όλους.
Good evening, everyone. Indeed, I do enjoy being ahead of SEGAS. This federation is unique. It is the first federation that signed the World Federation of the Olympic Committee, and I'm very proud to be representing this organization. And I am also proud that I am heading this federation for as long as I can. So thank you. Allow me to welcome everyone in this Authentic Talks evening of the 42nd Athens Marathon. This initiative aimed at giving the opportunity to people of the everyday life to speak about their own daily marathon. It is very important to make this connection. As you know, the actual marathon demands a lot from the runners. These hours need us to be alert and vigilant. If we cannot be vigilant and patient and also strong and empowered and also have the faith that we can finish, all these have to coexist. So we have with us today some people who are going to share their stories with us, how they started their own marathon without knowing how to start and how to finish, but setting step by step smaller targets, hitting one after the other, and then they understand that people, the human beings, have more powers that they understand that they have. So the day after tomorrow, the starting line in marathon, we will have the opportunity to see these people, and also we'll have the opportunity to see them finish after 42,195 meters. Finishing inside the Kalimarmaron Stadium, this unique marble stadium. We have been there to greet them, but before Sunday we can welcome them here so that they can take the floor and share their stories with us. This way we can embrace them and we can learn from their feats so that we can get empowered as they are. And we hope that they finish in all the marathons that they run. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Sakorafa. Many years ago, before the marathon was a sport, there was a soldier that ran from Marathon to Athens in order to bring the news of victory. There are some rumors that people from Kenya were around then, and they were the ones who were first in the line. Nevertheless, we do not know whether this is true, but we need to know where we are running. And this locus is the region of Attica, and we have to meet the region of Attica. It is very important that we have the support of the politicians for the region of Attica to be able to have this marathon.
Ξεκινάμε με γνώμονα αυτό τον τόπο, προσφέροντας δομή και οργάνωση. Προωθώντας την ασφάλεια και τη βιωσιμότητα. Ισορροπώντας τη συμπερίληψη και τη μοναδικότητα. Με το βλέμμα στον άνθρωπο οικοδομούμε τη Μητροπολιτική Περιφέρεια. Νέα σελίδα, νέα ταυτότητα. Ξεκινάμε.
Την περιφέρεια.
We have with us Mr. Nikos Chardalias, head of the region of Attica. Madam President, dear Sophia, dear MPs, dear friends, it is my honor and I'm very moved to be here among you today, a few hours before the commencement of the 42nd Authentic Marathon of Athens, which represents the common values that connect us. This is not just one more race. It is a very important race starting from Marathon Village and leading to the heart of Athens, the marble stadium of Kallimarmaros. Hundreds of countries from all 5 continents. A record number of runners will be together with us in Athens to test themselves, to share a message of unity and of peace which go beyond all borders. Marathon Race is an institution that promotes the values of high morale and dignity, and I am very honored to be able to support this race and be among these important athletes. I would like to thank warmly the administration of SEGAS, Director Mrs. Akorafa, for the commitment that they have in continuously upgrading and promoting the Athens Marathon. We have a very essential cooperation and we work together in order to enhance this institution even further. The Athens Marathon has nothing to be jealous of in relation to the other metropolitan marathons, because the infrastructures are even better, and this becomes state-of-the-art for all runners. So we stand here in an open dialogue for all the stakeholders in order to inspire those who organize the race. As Region of Attica, we have been supporting and we will continue supporting the struggle of all runners, the human values that are represented in this marathon course, because this race, like life itself, reminds us that we have to work hard in order to reach all our goals. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here, because you empower us as well to continue being committed to these high principles. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chardalias. As we heard before, we have runners from 120 countries, a record number of countries. They are here, thousands of athletes, because they feel so proud when they manage to finish in the marble stadium. This is something that they cannot feel in any other metropolis of the world, because this is the authentic course. Let us show you a short video about that.
Στην Ελλάδα συμμετέχει στον 42ο Αυθεντικό Μαραθώνιο της Αθήνας ως θεσμικός υποστηρικτής. Με σεβασμό στο περιβάλλον, προσφέρει 80.000 τσάντες από ανακυκλωμένο και ανακυκλώσιμο υλικό σε όλους τους δρομείς. 8 και 9 Νοεμβρίου 2025. Η Ευρώπη μας εμπνέει. Τρέχουμε μαζί για ένα βιώσιμο μέλλον.
Mrs. Marie Koutsouradi from the representation here in Greece is with us to address the audience. Marie Koutsouradi. Good afternoon, Governor, President, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a great honor to be, for the third time, supporters and sponsoring the Athens Authentic Marathon. It is indeed impressive how this authentic Athens Marathon through the years has developed in a marathon connecting and bringing together tens of thousands of runners. Indeed, for many citizens, for many athletes from different parts of the world, this run reminds and underpins the glorious history of Greece. Why the Olympic Games representation, the Olympic Committee recognizes the value of sports, of athletics. Our goal is to promote a European athletic model open to all, inclusive on the basis of principles of inclusion, of equality and solidarity. And this is why the representation of the Olympic Committee here in Athens honoring this institution is here, an institution advocating in the best possible way the fair play and the values of the European athletic model. This year, as you have seen earlier, we support by sponsoring 80,000 bags from recycled plastic, and this pattern is not accidental. It is a standard for international games, observing and the specifications of safety and sustainability. In other words, the bags are transparent for safety purposes so that it can be easily controlled in terms of its content. They are authentic and they can be reused. They are very effective and operable, how to put it. The bag is transparent, bearing the number of the runner, and they are of recycled material. Supporting this way, we wish to demonstrate that we put the emphasis on green economy, on circular economy, and on the sustainability in sports. Before concluding, let me tell you that I've been living in Greece only for several months. This is the first time that I'll join the authentic run. I'll run just 5 kilometers and I'll be running together with many other colleagues, employees of the Olympic Committee here in Athens. And we're looking forward to joining the run. I would like to thank Segas for the excellent cooperation all those years, and I wish every success to all runners. Thank you. Good luck for those 5 kilometers. So there we are. The reason why you're here, we'll give the floor to the excellent 4 speakers, beginning with the first one, because he's not going to be with us through this event. You may know him. He's an excellent theater singer. Few people know him, know that they can have a performance twice in a day while running the day after. This is Panos Vlachos. Pano, the floor is yours. Good afternoon, and thank you for being with you tonight. I'd like to thank Segas. Unless it was there, the documentary on the screen wouldn't be possible, of course. I don't know why I'm here today, actually. The people from Segas believe that I've got wise things to discuss on marathon. I accept it because I owe a lot to this run. I've seen a couple with their young baby while I was on my way that have read the few pages I have written on the Ranth. So they told me, go ahead, do tell the people. And I was wondering, what do I have to say? Because we live in an era where acts and deeds are important, not words. And this is all about marathon, that you need to deliver instead of just telling people things. Instead of that, I got in ChatGPT, and I asked him, what would Panos Vlachos would discuss on a speech about marathon? So, the answer, every time we are at the starting point of marathon, we aren't there to run 40,000 kilometers. We are there together with the legend, the history. It is not just a run of endurance. It's a struggle for our soul itself, and when the body says stop, your soul and heart says keep going. The last kilometer demonstrates what it is to insist without giving up. So those 7 last minutes, are they enough to end? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, it's a bit crazy, the thing that AI says, discusses. Let us run together with all other runners every step. It's a struggle against fear. Let us finish not only at Kalimarmaron, but let us cross our personal finish line. This is quite good, quite wise. Winning the battle with ourselves. Good luck to all. We count kilometers, we count the power and the strength of our soul. And this is the power of the run itself. I do not fully agree. This is not my athletic self. And the only time I was really authentic was during the marathon itself, during the creation of this documentary that you have just seen on the screen, that I've tried to understand whether Spiros Lewis is the hero that we had in mind or whether we've made it up. So through the run, to avoid tiring you, well, my understanding is that it is pointless, it is meaningless, because you are not authentic any longer. I'm not authentic now because I can't be. Of course, authentic marathon is as close as it could be, but it's not. We are not Philippidis, because nothing is confirmed historically speaking. Haris Vasilakos insists that his grandfather was the one that finished first and not Spiros Lewis. So nothing is authentic. Indeed, nothing is authentic. Faith in our flag and our country means you're right wing. When you speak differently, you are a populist, and I want to be authentic. Dear friends, well, the marathon needs to stop. If you want to continue it, you need to rebrand it. You need to give it a new understanding, a new meaning. art itself has become some kind of advertisement, some kind of publicity. Marathon can't be authentic. Are we prepared for the meaning, the message of marathon? It is a run of freedom. Thousands of people go in the streets not only thanks to a demagogue, a political feature, but because they want to be messengers. And this is what we need to bear in mind. Otherwise, it shall be an narcissistic run, something very cheap, simply advocating and supporting ourselves by exposing ourselves. All those simple, everyday people, real people, do something extraterrestrial because they convey a message of freedom, a message of justice, because justice without hope can't exist. So those messages must be embraced by the state. 1,065 days a year. It is a feast for people that are running to beat their bad ego and self. It is a space of freedom where you vindicate the fair truth, the fair reality that we deserve to be free. So we run free because the state gives us the right to fill in all the streets by vindicating ourselves, the self-understandable self of ours. Unless we can do it, we need to stop it, because this creates dangerous people. Free people running from one point to another. We run to change our minds, to understand the world differently. If we don't achieve this, let us better stop, we runners, and tell it to the state itself. However, if on Sunday and all Sundays, for the first time, we become a set of people, a group of people, without any capitalistic stand, no class consciousness, no sexual definition, no gender, no groups to belong to, and they are simply happy, full of galactic acid and tears, but still free, and they just run. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Αν θέλετε να κάνουμε κάποιες ερωτήσεις, με χαρά να σας απαντήσω όσο πιο σύντομα μπορώ.
Υπάρχουν δύο μικρόφωνα.
If you have any questions for the speaker, you can raise your hand. We'll give you the microphone.
Το εν λόγω ντοκιμαντέρ λέγεται 7 λεπτά ψυχή.
The documentary is titled 7 Minutes of Our Soul. Some years ago, we went to the International Cinema Festival of Thessaloniki. You can find it for free on YouTube. Mr. Vasilakos is here. This documentary is online because it reminds us of that we are committed to our existence. I hope that you will find it very interesting that you become Greeks throughout this race. Many things have changed in Greece since 1896, and we can change the country for a better country for tomorrow.
Μπορούμε να έχουμε το μικρόφωνο εδώ, στο κέντρο.
Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ.
We would like to thank Authentic Talk that give us the floor to speak. I'm Maria Dokritou. I wanted to pose a question, or rather to share a thought with you. And maybe I can have an answer by Mr. Vlachos. The marathon race, the authentic race, can speak about democracy. As regards democracy, we can think of the ideals. The first seats are always reserved for some significant people or some politicians nowadays. Maybe we can break this custom and give these first places to some people who are important in what they do. Equals among equals. I have a PhD in democracy in theater. Our democracy has a lot of problems. I thank you for for what you said, and I can tell you that the light is shining on your hair, and you are very beautiful now. I can assure you that the seats are not for the best of the best. No, we are equal in the marathon. What we give to the race, it gives us back. If we run well, our philosophy will be good. If we run with hostility, then our logic will be obscured. Our poets say that the actors and the singers speak about difficult truths. But I can say that the difficult truths are spoken through a marathon race. You have to struggle with yourself, and you will become a different person after you finish. And we call it authentic because every year it is different, because we are different, and we run being a different self. And we see things in a different way and democracy in a different way. Allow me to step in and say that it is a practical issue as well. In the first seats, we have the speakers, those who will stand up. So it is we have to let them be close to the microphone, so we cannot see them behind. Otherwise, we would not have a good organization of an event. There's another question. You have the floor. Thank you for your nice speech. I am inspired to say that the marathon might start from the parliament, and maybe the 300 MPs could run. You spoke about the good and the bad self. The marathon race, like art, has to be the most inclusive space in the world. I do understand what you say, but let me comment as follows. In the theatrical plays, as well as in the races, we have to keep our heart open so that we can hear the persons who have different opinions than ours. So, of course, we stand hand by hand with them. And we go to a gallery together, or we go to a cafe together, and we speak about the marathon, about the democracy, the ideals. So I believe that what you said is a good idea. When people run together, they always befriended. When they finish, they are full of ideas and empty of hostility. And in the beginning of March, we start in front of the parliament. So we have the opportunity. Just one more question. I have a very short question. Yes. Ariadne Sofia Kouri is my name. You inspired us with your speech and your ideas. Let me speak about narcissism. And this is a question is important for the younger people. We have many companies that show us a lot of things sponsoring the race. How can we undermine this narcissism that is connected with the consumption of so many things? How can we find our true self, getting rid of all the material things around us? Because I understand that we have so much discipline that we don't care about things. Michalis Katsaros had written the poem Resist. You can read this poem online. Resist to those who say that nice words are just lyrical. So you have to resist to what I am saying to you now. We have to resist to the consumption, to the cheap things around us. But even within this environment, the marathon race remains the less expensive of a hearted race for everyone. There are many different sports that require expensive shoes, expensive bicycles, but it is magical to run with whatever you have. You need to resist to the companies, and you have to understand that the loneliness that you feel is going to be shared with so many people around you on the day of the marathon race. The marathon is an open locus for all these people who have so many differences from us. Sometimes the wealthier among us can travel farther, but this is not the case in the marathon race. We all run the 42 kilometers.
Έτσι φίλησε και ο Ιούδας. Μου έβαλες μπουρλότο στο πάνελ. Άντε να το γυρίσω τώρα. Λοιπόν, εμένα μου αρέσει αυτό. Είναι...
Thank you so much. This is the Authentic Talks spirit, that each person shares whatever they like. It is very interesting that we have the opportunity to speak freely and to exchange ideas, and we have to understand this. Thank you, Mr. Vlachos, and I thank everyone who spoke, because you gave us new perspectives in this very old ideal of the marathon race. Now, we started with ChatGPT in the first talk. Nevertheless, this was a good opportunity to continue with the second speaker. I'm going to invite now someone who is a human being. He's not an AI, he's not an avatar, but he is the human-like AI founder, and he's a person who wishes to bring art and creation and media to ears that cannot very well understand why we speak about AI, why we speak about machines and everything. Let's watch a video for the next speaker.
Κυρίες και κύριοι, ο Μινάς Μάριος Κόντης, ιδρυτής.
Minas Marios Kontis, human-like AI founder.
Δείτε, δέρμα, τρίχα, τα πάντα έτσι, κανονικός άνθρωπος.
Good evening, everyone. Before we reach the end of the world, let's start with being faster. Let's run faster, let's talk faster. Since we are here, we can see how we can become faster. I always wanted to go where I wanted to go in a faster way. When I was younger, I wanted to have an idea that would change the world, or an application that would make me rich, or I would like to become somebody else, a popular figure, a personality, without trying much though. I didn't want to strive. I passed my vacations. I spent my vacations at a village, and I always had dreams about the future. We watched this TV show every afternoon. These were two inventors, and they would create roller coasters or something else. So it was me with my cousin who were watching this TV series every afternoon. But we couldn't succeed in our ideas like the inventors in the TV show. So we were frustrated. But we tried to change our ideas in a fast way. After that, I started working. I started having more dreams. And I tried to be realistic at the same time and pragmatic. And I would fail more and more. And I was a bit discouraged. When you want to climb a mountain, you start by sprinting, and then in some meters you are tired. So I was tired of waiting for the bus, so I created an application that can show us when will the bus come. It was downloaded by 100,000 people. It was a good race for me. This was a successful application. Everybody was using it. But again, I was feeling that I had not reached my goal. After that, I went into the university. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to study or what I wanted to be when I grow up. I didn't know exactly what the courses were about. I didn't have any mentor or any professor that could lead me. At that time, I started cycling. The Velos Thessalonikis team is here. I am with the green bike. In the first few weeks, I would go to the team, and I was very slow. Everybody was waiting for me when I was cycling uphill, and I was really struggling. After that, though, after some months, I became equal to them just because I had a good coach. My coach inspired me with the milestones that he set for me, because he said that I did have a talent inside. This is a night ride at Seixu in Thessaloniki. Again, me at the right side with a green bike. So I understood that it's very good to have a coach. The coach doesn't give you the technique or the know-how, but they unlock the powers in your brain. Since you're going to run the marathon, and I'm going to run with you, I'm going to ask you, did you have a mentor or a coach in your life to show you the way where you want to go? How many among you do you have a mentor? Please raise your hand if you have a coach or a mentor. Or very few, eh? Most of you do not have a person that inspires you. This is how I was at the university. I did not know what I wanted to become in life. And many of my co-students had the same thinking. So we made it a we made a team so as to bring mentors in contact with students. This was made into an application. It ran in more than 30 universities. Students from Beijing. She was a student of ETH in Zurich, a postgraduate student. In such a mentoring program, she met some experts. And finally, she decided that what she wanted to do was artificial intelligence. And then she went to Stanford for a PhD, and now she is in OpenAI, and we work together still. But the greatest race in life, a tough race, is the one that starts now. The AI race. Every day we see new things that we leave behind. We see new developments, new disclosures every day. I like this in this technology because if you go back, when we were kids with my cousin, when we dreamt about the world in the future, in the year 3000, for example, we see now that AI gives us a view of this distant future. This is what I like. Today, I'm the founder of Human-Like AI. This company develops technologies which will not replace human beings, but will free human beings from today's struggles, life's struggles. The purpose is to become more human, so that every person will have the opportunity to dream again or to connect with each other again and to have more time to do what they love more. Running or cycling or whatever we like. This is Aura that you see. She undertakes a lot of mechanical work. Aura is an avatar that takes some interviews from people. But if we go back some years ago when we were at school, we learned about Philippides, the soldier who ran from Marathon to Athens to bring the message that Athens had won. We read that in a book, in a history book. In 2026, in the Greek schools, we're going to have AI applications in the classroom. Let's go back to the marathon race. We need stamina, suppleness, strength, speed, and good psychology, of course, in order to endure this race and finish. You know this better than me. What I understood when writing the talk for today is that these abilities are necessary for us for everything in life. If we implement them in life, then we will succeed the biggest target that we can set. Thank you very much.
Μινά, σε ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ. Θα μείνεις λίγο μαζί.
Please, Mina, stay with me for a couple of questions. Do you have any questions for Minas Kontis? About AI, about the content of the speech? Everyone is terrified. So I have a question. Are you going to run? Yes, I'm going to run, but not on foot. What do you mean? Mr. Kideris and Mrs. Sakorafa are here, so you cannot say that you will run but not on foot. Yes, I'm going to ride my bike. One day after the race, we're going to run the race, to cycle the race the day after. Any other question for Mr. Contis? The model is not substituting man, as you said. But everyone is afraid that machines or avatars are going to replace people. So what is your opinion? I cannot sleep at night thinking ideas like that. This technology indeed steals some work from people. They can write emails, they can make phone calls. They call us, bots are calling us. We're going to have a lot of calls from bots in the future. All companies have one. But what I can say is that in the countries where we have technologies like that, we see that we are reaching a model where people are going to work less. Technology will be cheaper for everyone and more accessible, affordable by everyone. And this will create a world of abundance. Of course, I do believe that we are in transitional period now, and it is difficult. What about the jobs? Will they be taken by machines? These are difficult questions. We have to speak about them when we have a glass of wine at hand after the talks. We cannot create machines that will print money, but we can abolish money maybe.
Προφανώς το μικρόφωνο μετακινείται από δρομέα για λόγους ταχύτητας, όπως έχετε καταλάβει.
Καλησπέρα σε όλους.
Good evening. Can we characterize AI as a Pandora box? Because we do not know the content very well. What's your opinion? I do agree. Very clear. Thank you so much.
Ισχύει, δεν χρειάστηκε καν να δευτερολογήσει. Υπάρχει κάποια άλλη ερώτηση?
Any other questions?
Έχουμε εκεί μία.
There, back. This is a relay. Good afternoon, Jenny Psara, postdoc in AI student. I would like to stress that the goal of AI is not to replace humans. It is to assist humans to go higher, to achieve something more in the industry, wherever they can deliver repetitive tasks. The goal is for people to be free, to open up their mind and become more creative. I loved particularly the part where students are connected with mentors. In the Greek university, undergraduate and postgraduate students, indeed there's lots of appetite on their part to develop their careers. They are so well prepared in all meetings. They study scientific articles from a very early academic stage. It's indeed a pool of brilliant people, so it is not just a matter of infrastructure. It's not a matter of shoes in the case of the marathon. If you are hungry to achieve something, you will do it eventually. But sometimes we do need coaches and mentors. And we need to get connected, to put it differently. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me add something, Yorgos. Save the industry lots of the tasks, be them intellectual or manual, shall be automated. Those intellectual are very bureaucratic, so saving us needless time and effort. Thank you, Minas. Thank you for being with us today. If machines take over, please don't forget that I've always been a good friend of yours. Now, let's move forward. Different topics on the table, different questions. Now, a person, individual, you all know him. You must have heard him. You must have seen him getting a medal. Despite that, the road wasn't as rosy as it might seem. He has a long history. Still, an accident with his motorcycle didn't change his course. He reached his goal, the Olympic medal, the Paralympic of swimming, Andonis Sapatakis. Andonis Sapatakis, welcome. Good afternoon. I'm Adonis. I'm more a runner as well, a runner of life, as I would put it, because on different occasions, we have compared our life events, incidents with a marathon, and we always say, it looks like, it seems like, it sounds like a marathon. This is how we describe it. And here today we are looking for authentic words, authentic speeches. For myself, the meaning of truth, the meaning of marathon are identical. And it involves truth, the meaning of what we do, of our acts. Those two, their meaning of those two words are expressed in the word marathon. As previous speakers explained, we need first of all to face our reality. There, during the game, you are alone. There, your reality is fully expressed, and real life is there knocking on your door. If it manages to get in, it might hit you hard. And this trauma, it is your obligation to deal with it. Start by facing this fear. You know, fear is something like that we need to fight against. Expressing it is the first step. Describing our fear is the first step in our struggle to deal with it. Oftentimes I speak at schools and I explain the term of mirroring. In other words, looking yourself in a mirror and be brave and bold enough to look at yourself right in the eyes. Well, many people can't do it. Why? Because we are not authentic, even when discussing with ourselves. We are alone in the middle of a mob, in the middle of the crowd. We have rejected our freedom, and this is why we might be letting machines deliver instead of us, relying on others, relying on different alibis, on excuses, and forgetting sacrifice. Because to win something, to grasp it and get it, you need to work hard. You need to work as the heroes of our myths. Today we're afraid of doing so. We're afraid of losing. Of losing what? Nothing. If we compare it to what is expecting us there to get and win it. Because this is the effort itself. It is the chaos, the beauty and glory that we have forgotten. We have forgotten how it is to be alive. Because of course we can be humans, but we can't be all alive. We have forgotten the metaphorical meaning, interpretation. The marathon run is a very hard and demanding run. You need to run, to swim, in my case, because I'm a swimmer, and I always compare things with swimming. So you need to get into the marathon, even if you don't know where it ends. And this is the mystery, the mythical mystery of the story, the flow. You might be surrounded by garbage, you might make hundreds of mistakes, meaning things that you haven't done in order to be well prepared. And still, this is the way to deal with your real self, to deal with truth. Whatever the mask you might be wearing, well, it shall eventually be dropped. And then what? You surrender? No, you don't. I still dream. I still sacrifice things of myself for my goal and purpose. This is what we have lost the purpose, not the material purpose, because we live in it's a materialistic frenzy. But we can fight it, fight the worst version of ourselves in an effort to become better, not richer, not medal holders, nothing. Simply become better when going to bed late at night and be able to fall asleep, sound sleep, without being afraid, being satisfied instead. We have left others speak about us. We produce material outcomes to prove and demonstrate to other people that we can achieve things, but only material things. And this is the alibi of our existence. Or else we claim that this is impossible, it can't be done, meaning we take recourse to excuses, which isn't true. My parents have been always telling me that there is no I cannot. Just have in mind, I can do it. I want to do it, so I can do it. We have become machines before the IA was there. We have pushed the button before having the button there. We have eliminated emotions and feelings, and above all, we have eliminated the love to ourselves, to all other humans. We simply dress ourselves, we want to make it richer, we want to make it I don't know what, so that we're above all others. And now we're alone in the middle of the crowd. No victory is individual. All victories are collective. And I say so after all my games, that this victory, this success, all successes are collective. I couldn't have be a medal holder unless I had myself and all others around me, even those with whom I have simply shook hands a week before the game. All those people that empower me. If we neglect ourselves, if we cannot mirror ourselves and look at ourselves right in the eyes, if I let it happen, wherever I am, wherever I'm giving the floor, this is how I speak. Always speaking about authenticity. The other day I delivered another speech here in Athens, and I was sent a taxi to take me from the airport and bring me back. A very gentle taxi driver, a good guy. He led me to my destination and came to take me back. A few moments before reaching the airport, he told me that he wanted to tell me a story. So I said, okay, go ahead. So there we were, and he told me. He was holding the passport and the ID of a lady. So he told me, this is used to be my daughter. So I understood that he had passed away. She was on a motorbike. A friend was driving her while they had an accident, and my daughter died, was killed. So I still have her ID and her passport and her driving license to have her with me. So this happened 4 years ago. And I tell you this story because when this happened and I was trying someone to hold on, to keep moving in life after this thing that had happened to me, I came across your stories, your posts, your speeches after the games, and this is how I was empowered. So that was an enormous reward for me. And I'm always influenced by situations that I have lived and experienced several hours ago that might be inspiring me, but on top of that, myself inspires me. It is my duty, the duty of all us, of all people, to heal our own trauma. Each one and everyone. Abandon the excuses, abandon any fear whatsoever. Fear is okay, it's not bad to be afraid, but it's bad not to struggle to overcome your fears. Understand that your heart beats so that your muscles are full of blood to help you go faster, and if you fail, to be able to stand back on your feet. And this is the moment when you'll be able to look straight in your eyes, your own self. Well, the messages of all speakers today, the two previous and the one that will follow, will inspire us all. First, we need to get self-inspiration, and this is why we need to consider our life as a marathon, as a game, as a struggle, where we are there to participate. We do not need good shoes or whatever other a runner might need. The only thing we need is to prepare to act. So this is the meaning of truth and act is described is under the word marathon. The thing that we need to understand is that choose is the most important verb and the most important achievement of people, to be able to be given the right to choose, to deliver, to begin, to stop, but always to choose. And this is what I'm asking you to do, and this is what the actual marathon run asks you to do. All speakers, the next speaker, ask us to open our mouth in front of our mirror and ask ourselves to deliver. If we can't do it, we are dead even before dying. You are dead while you are still alive. Half step is enough, even if you're in a wheelchair, if you do it backwards. The verb is important. You choose to be alive. And with my monologue, you need to stop me. I would welcome your views. I need to interrupt you, Adonis. This is my unhappy role here today. Anyway, as we are friends, we've discussed this topic of choice several times, and the way you consider life is exactly the meaning of your life indeed. So let us see whether there are any questions for Andonis. It is impressive how rich is the panel we got today. Indeed, the variety that exists in the way a marathon may vary from one to another. The different runners are different. The Kenya runners from Greek runners. Well, speaking about Kenya runners, this is a prejudice. You are there to fight with them. They might be better, but still you need to be there and fight. Forgetting all those if that conquer and our lives, all those if with which we are obsessed. Instead of the if of an in Greek, we need to reverse the letters and begin with a na. I need, in other words, to do this, be it in a swimming game, in whatever game we're in. This is an ethical issue. After the end of the game, you need to understand the meaning of the game itself, of the struggle, and be able to see while watching. So those are the ingredients of the real victory, the way to see the world which will allow us to move forward. Any questions?
Για τον Αντώνη Τσαπατάκη.
Είχαμε για τον AI, για μένα δεν έχουμε.
Έχουμε εδώ, ναι.
Παρακαλώ.
Ένα λεπτάκι να έρθει το μικρόφωνο. Εντάξει, νομίζω ήσουν ξεκάθαρος γι' αυτό.
You were very clear. I try to be clear, but of course I like hearing different views, because sometimes I say to children, you have to pose questions, no matter how silly you think they are. There are no silly questions. Why are you laughing to each other when you hear someone asking a question? It's a good thing, because we have the opportunity to discuss on matters, on topics. Every difficulty can be created. I am a journalist, says the lady. I wanted to ask the following. You reached a point, a way of life. What did you see there? Which were your first ideas before you stepped to the other side? Fear was my motive. In 2006, I had my accident. And of course, we didn't have the opportunity, the information that we have today. And it was difficult to know what can happen to a Paralympic athlete. The only thing that we had at that time was the doubt that we cannot continue. When I thought about this, I deleted this and I changed the phrase. Instead of saying you cannot do it, I would say how can I do it? This is the difference from no to how. And this was my trigger. This was my trigger to continue with my life at the. I'm going to have a lot of obstacles in my life. We are trained when we have these obstacles, and we become better. Even if the result is different than what we expected. When we look back, we see that we have become better. In order to get an Olympic medal, I ran in a couple of Olympiads, and I managed to improve my time and improve my performance. And I managed to continue year after year in my training. The worst scenario was to stop, but I was not discouraged. I continued. And when I managed, I understood that it is more important to lose and learn than to not to try at all. People say congratulations, but they say that we have to be strong. My coach has been telling me that I have never told him that I give up. I never gave up. And I was always saying to him that I'm going to try more and better next year. And that's why he was empowered in order to empower me, in order to make me do better the next year. I was able to see all the curves in the graph of my performance, to study it and analyze it and change it and make something better. So I could work against all odds and rebuild myself, no matter my disability. The life is unjust. If we stay in this, we will not proceed. I will continue trying to become better day after day, year after year. Thank you, Antonis, for this very inspirational talk. It is important to have these stories shared with everyone. Thank you very much, Antonis. Thank you very much, Yorgos. Thank you, Antonis Zapatakis. We enjoyed the speech. Let us now pass to the next speaker, who is the last speaker for today. She might be even more well-dressed than Antonis, who is the model of fashion, a fashion icon. She has done so many things already. She has done a lot of social activities. She's a social fighter. She's an activist. She remains at the grassroots, and this is her victory. She is a scientist, a thoracic surgeon, and one of the most dynamic persons that I have met. Let us show a video before we welcome Mr. Kalliopi Athanasiadis.
Κυρία Καλλιόπη Αθανασιάδη, είναι μεγάλη μου χαρά και τιμή.
Mrs. Kalliopi Athanasiadis, we welcome you. Good evening. Thank you so much, Mrs. President of SEGAS, for this honorary invitation. I'm very happy to be among you. Dear Madam President, dear head of the region, dear friends, when they called me from SEGAS, I was surprised. A friend of mine says, "Are you running the marathon?" I said, "No, never. But do you remember that some years ago you went for the 5 kilometers and you ran only 500 meters and then you went for ouzo, for beers?" Yes, this is my only relation with the marathon, actually. But nevertheless, I have another relation with the SEGAS. In 1986, in the first World Minors Championship at the Olympic Stadium, who was the translator for the Central Secretariat? I was. Of course, when I was born by Angelos Athanasiadis, and my mother, Dorothea Tournavitou, a nurse, doctor, my father, nurse, my mother. And this is me when I was young. I had two milestones in my life. First, that my father died when I was 3.5. And then in 1970, when we had the accident with the school bus. This changed my life, and it changed your life as well, because then we had the first court ruling saying that from that moment onwards, from the 70s onwards, we would have a person on board on the school buses to aid all the children. What about bullying at school? I said I didn't have any, because my mother was very dynamic and she made me proud for what I was. Also, during the elementary school and the high school, all children were disciplined at home and at school, so I was never bullied. What about after that? At the university, I was very well trained by my mother, and I could face anyone, no matter what they said. When I went to the university, the Medical School of Athens, and I started thinking, what kind of specialty should I follow? I decided to become a surgeon, because the surgeon in the Greek language is someone who works with their hands to act on a body. The surgeon is a creator. So due to my accident, I decided to become a plastic surgeon. But I wanted to do nothing on my face because I liked to be loved for what I was. So I cannot convince someone if I was a plastic surgeon, I couldn't have many patients because they could see me and they would say that she doesn't do it for herself, well, so why should she do it for me? So I was influenced by my father and I became a thoracic surgeon. I worked hard. I was enthusiastic, then I was frustrated, then I loved, but I loved my work and my patients. I worked in Canada, in Germany. I was recognized internationally. At some point, I became the first woman and the youngest person to participate in the board of the European Society of Thoracic Surgeons. In 2005, for the first time, we had this meeting in Athens, the ESTS. It will come again after 21 years, next year in 2026 in Athens. But Greece, when I came back to Greece, things were more difficult. I had many problems here. In 2016, by accident, I became a president of the Greek Society for Thorax, Heart, and I was first against a man. Do we have mobbing in our profession? Mobbing is a term from animal kingdom. When some animals are sick, the community, the herd, leave them aside. Yes, we do have mobbing in our profession, both in men and women, especially those who are all students still studying. It is stronger for women. Do you know how many women are in the medical schools in the university? But in specific specialties, there are very few. Academics, very few. It is disappointing. I've heard thousands of phrases against a woman being a thoracic surgeon. At some point, a colleague of mine said that I'm a newcomer in the profession. So when I came to work to Greece, and I started working at the hospital, Sotiria Hospital, and they would say that this is a woman, she can't hold a knife. Yes, but I can be a very good surgeon, indeed. Not a good cook, but a good surgeon. Now, who supports me? My friends, my family, my second family, which is my nurses, and my patients. You know why? When we are doctors, especially surgeons, we are trained that we are different than our patient and we are superhumans. But that's not true. I had the disadvantage that I was vulnerable because I had been a patient, so they would trust me easily, and they have been supporting me. Is it a boys' club, the operating room, as it was 100 years ago? Yes, in some specialty it is. But I changed my operating room. That's my operating room. I'm not with AI. despite the fact that I wrote, sometimes I write my speeches with AI, but I am a manual surgeon. I usually I ask questions when I start speaking, and one of the questions is whether someone says to them that they can't achieve something. Becoming a surgeon equals training for a marathon. It's true. I don't have a magic wand, but I can just say that we have to collect our experience together to create a small world around us that is going to be healthy. And in this healthy little world, we can live as a better version of ourselves. We are always striving. Sometimes we fly in the sky. Sometimes we are in hell. This doesn't mean that we can stop. We don't fight with the others. We don't fight with we just fight with ourselves. This is the fair play. What does fair play means? Is that we set goals that we follow with commitment and fairness. Let me remind you that the Olympic Games in the ancient Greek times were a bit different. Each one ran for themselves. It was not a collective race. So at this point, let me use the words of a friend who said that marathon is actually 30 kilometers, which are easy because you're trained, plus 10, which are easy if you can think about them, plus 2 more, which you can run in pain. Haruki Murakami has said that you cannot escape pain. Running is the mirror of human boundaries. You learn where the body stops and how the mind empowers us. Each one of us runs their own race. In life, it's not important if we finish first or second or 10th, but finish in pride. We are many doctors nowadays who believe this same vision. So I demand to be an equal among equals. I am enthusiastic with life. I live for today. I make plans for tomorrow. I'm not afraid to fail. I live today and I aim for the future. I say yes only if I want to, and I always try to cure and heal my wounds. I support others and I receive support from others. Never give up, because great things take time. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was a tremendous closing and end. I wish I could cry out, "Oh my goddess, you are an excellent host." So, it's impressive what you did with the book of Murakami, because it's the Bible of running and runners. And I was deeply impressed. Pain is inevitable, suffering is an option, is optional. Questions? Or else I can undergo thoracic surgery to show you how impressed I am. In 40 years' time, well, in 40 years' time I won't be there. I'll be very old. Questions? Somebody who would like to forward a question or something to say? Over there, the gentleman. Nikos Hierekas. It is not a question. Calliope, I would rather say this is some kind of addition. I'm here to confirm Calliope's relationship with her patients. We haven't been invited. We are here because we had some news that Calliope would be delivering a speech. And thank you, Calliope. We are here for Calliope. Unbelievable. Be stronger. And as you are not invited, well, I would ask the team to guide the gentleman outside. Calliope is Mr. Sanathiasi is an exceptional guest, so I'm expecting more questions. This is an enormous opportunity. There we are. Two words on Calliope because we've been acquainted and friends for years. When she won her first marathon and got her medical degree, she's been winning a marathon every day. Marathons with herself, with her patients, because patients feel safe next to Calliope, because Calliope is a healer. The lady over there. Good afternoon. No question. I'm here not as a marathon runner, but as the mother of a small girl that I wanted to have her here to listen to your speech. Thank you. Invited or uninvited? Non-invited. Okay. And another one, two questions over there. Everything is a matter of angle. No, I haven't got a question either. I do not know you, but I wanted to thank you. The National Healthcare has fantastic people, even though it is occasionally attacked. There are people working there, passionate people, having high values and great scientists, and I'm happy that here I got the opportunity to meet you, to meet one of them. I've had experiences with colleagues of yours, and I wanted to thank you all. I wanted to thank you personally for being so dedicated. And the gentleman, good afternoon. First of all, thank you. I would like to thank you for organizing this event. I'm Yoros Farmakis. Apologies, I'm moved, and anyway, if the Society of Excellence would exist, this would be the shape of it. The people in such society. And the gentleman over there. And we'll conclude, okay. Zagaris Spiros. Calliope said that she couldn't run even 5 kilometers, but I would like to ask her how many marathons had she run through her life. Countless, I would say. Life itself is a run, with or without obstacles, but whatever you do in your life, you need to try it in full strength, and eventually success will be there. All people run a marathon in their own style. I don't know whether I've run more than the others. I don't know whether I've been successful due to my character. I'm very stubborn. I do not think that I'm an easy winner because I try hard things, but I'm satisfied. And what I always repeat to my patients, sometimes, well, I tell them, don't worry, I don't do that for you, I do it for myself because I want to be okay with myself when I'm back home late at night. Apologies, I can't put forward any more questions. We are slightly behind schedule. We are getting to the prizes, the awards of today. Let us first applaud and thank all four speakers. Mr. Βασιλάκος.
Θέλετε ένα μικρόφωνο, θέλετε να κάνετε παρέμβαση, εννοείται. Κύριος Βασιλάκος είναι, δεν ξέρω, όσοι τον γνωρίζετε, όσοι έχετε παραγωγή.
I don't know whether you know Mr. Βασιλάκος. A descendant of Vasilakos, co-runner of Spiros Louis, and there we have this long discussion on who was the actual and real winner. Well, I won't elaborate on the marathon itself, but it is indeed the top, the supreme sport. I just wanted to say a few words and make a distinction and an official statement on the part of my family. Spiros Louis was the one that crossed the finish line first. Charilos Vasilakos was the first athlete to run a marathon in the history of the sport. This is well recorded. Each one of them have had their own history. Charilos Vasilakos remained in the story with a record that won't be ever beaten. The youngest marathon winner at the age of 20, just 20 years and 3 months old, which is unconceivable. In 19,000, so Spiros Louis was the first, and Charilos Vasilakos the first out of the first marathon athletes that run the authentic course. And he did that alone, having his own history. Indeed, a fantastic athlete. And so the documentary 7 Minutes of Soul is valuable. There you'll see lots on this particular sport. Now, the Marathon Awards, my left or your right, you'll see that we've got 3 handshaking the Marathon Awards, an exceptional event in the Authentic Talks Conference to award those that contribute in the fair play and the athletic values people that have promoted solidarity, fair play, both at the social and athletic level. The awards are a copy from the ancient epoch, representing hospitality, solidarity, etc. We'll start, well, awarding the region of Attica who helps us through the years, closing the roads through the marathon run. Please, Mr. Kederis, for the award to the governor of the region of Attica. Indeed, this description, this fantastic description when Kostas Kederis got the medal, it always crosses my mind. And now, it wouldn't be fair unless we had with us Dr. Kalliopi Athanassinadi, without something tangible. So Mr. Giorgos Yatroudakis, Secretary General of SEGAS, to award the next prize to Kalliopi. Getting to the end, and the third award, two major truths in life. One day we'll leave this world. This is the reality. And the second, after the 31st kilometer of marathon, well, you need to hold back because it's sloped down and you'll be suffering from cramps. So let us see the first one. The award that we had scheduled would be for a person that has the biggest course in life. Unfortunately, he passed away a week ago. Anyway, we couldn't make it differently. Mourning, it's something very hard for his family. I want to be always optimistic, and this is why, with great people, for all us other simple people, it is a great opportunity to get in touch with their history, their work, their life attitude. And I'm referring to Mr. Dimitris Podikoulis. So let us first have the video and then we'll discuss it.
Με επιτυχία ετελέστησαν στο Καφταντζόγλιον Στάδιον Θεσσαλονίκης οι προβαλκανικοί αγώνες τύπου. Μερικά αποτελέσματα. Στα 15 χιλιόμετρα βάδιν επρότεψε ο πρωταθλητής μας Ποντικούλης με 1 ώρα 14 και 56.
Dimitris Podikoulis was a tremendous athlete. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know with this the right term, walker. Anyway, but he was fully dedicated to all sports. He was He was a director of athletic documentaries. He loved passionately the Balkan Games. He started writing stories of former athletes so that it would be available for those in the future. And above all, he was a person that will be alive through his work. Anna Podikouli, his daughter, is here with us. That I would like to invite to receive this award. Alexandros, his nephew, is with us as well. And of course, Mrs. Sakorafa, the president of SEGAS, will present the award. Allow me to say a few words out of the agenda. With Dimitris, rather, we first met when I was 15 years old. He had always a camera in his hands, and he would always show me pictures and photos, and he wanted to set up a museum. We had such discussion with the government because the Federation, our BOD, wanted to have such a museum, and that was what we were discussing up until he died, where to have an area, a space with all his works. Everything is there on the photos, my story, the story of different athletes on the photos of Dimitris Podikoulis. And thank you very much. Indeed. Do look, go and have a look to his work. Okay, before closing, to the left we've got the different exceptional medals, not those awarded to actual winners. There are 1,000 for those that are collectors and want to have one. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you for joining this event, for being patient, and every success to the runners, to those that will stay with us tonight. Let us have a nice dinner.
Από το ΣΕΓΑΣ γίνεται επιλογή.